Hello and welcome one and all to this week's Football Focus. We have a treat for you this week. Look at this. A double pundit count in the studio. Joining the former Chelsea and Scotland winger Pat Nevin is also a face very familiar to our viewers in Australia. Francis Leach from ABC, who was on holiday here in the UK.
Subbed on.
We've dragged you in. It's never a sub. First choice, always.
Thanks, Derek.
Thanks. Great to have you on. Great to have you both as well. And it's nice to talk to an Australian about nothing to do with cricket at the moment, particularly as we're English. But, well, you're Scottish, Pat, we'll let you off. And the appearance of the second guest isn't the only difference this week, because for the first time we're devoting the whole of the show to one big interview. Jose Mourinho.
Jose, we've had the special one, the happy one. How are you now?
I'm happy.
Still the happy one?
Yeah, still the happy one. I am in the country where I want to be, playing the league I want to play, defending and working for the club that is my favorite one during my whole career, so I'm happy, really.
Does it feel different to part one of your Chelsea adventure?
Yeah.
How does it feel different?
You know, first of all, for me it was my first experience abroad, coming to a club that at that time was almost unique in the sense of a new foreign owner, which was something really new or almost new, not just in England but also in European football. A club that made a huge investment to try to come to levels where the club was not before. Now the situation is different, not just for us, also for the Premier League. The powerful club, as a consequence of a powerful economically owner, is not just now about Chelsea, is about many other clubs. The Premier League changed, the world of football changed, and the team that Chelsea built in my period, which was basically the team that was Chelsea structure during the last decade, that team is over, is not here anymore. We have just 3 or 4 players from that time, and now we have to build again, and we are building with happiness, calm, without losing our nature of trying to win things, and I defend that completely. I think the best way to build a team, in this case to rebuild a team, is to do it without losing the sense of we want to win. I think is the best way to educate the new team, and we want to be not the easy opponent for the clubs that probably in this moment they have more potential than us to win the titles.
Are we close to seeing the Chelsea that you want to see, Mourinho's Chelsea?
I think we are far. I think we are far. Our expectations and our way of seeing this new Chelsea, we want to think big. We are trying to build a winning team, but we are going in a direction in terms of the quality of our game, in terms of the beauty of our game, in terms of the qualities of our game, different than in the first period, with a different flair, with a different style, and we are also happy with that.
Can this Chelsea side win the title this season? Can this be a silverware season for you?
I think if we win the title this season, it's because we are doing very well, and we do very well till the end of the season.
Ahead of schedule, then?
Ahead of schedule, obviously, but I think it must be also as a consequence of a team that everybody recognizes that they are the team with more potential, more solutions, more maturity, more physicality, and more talent in attack, more everything, if that team fails. You know, I think...
Manchester City or something?
Yes, Man City.
Because you said, didn't you, that, and you tell me whether this is a true quote or not, that this would be your greatest managerial achievement if you were to beat Manchester City to the Premier League this season. You didn't say that?
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that because I think to win the Champions League with the Portuguese team is not easy. To win the treble with Inter is not easy. To win the Spanish league against the best Barcelona of the history with a record of 100 points and 126 goals is not easy too. So I don't want to devaluate things that I previously did and they were not easy to do. I think Man City with this unbelievable potential. Their manager is being honest when he says that they have a team to win all the 4 titles. But I think we are going to make them
work for it.
And let's see what happens.
Let's talk about Manchester United this weekend then. Do you feel for David Moyes? Do you think he's in an almost impossible situation, having taken over from Sir Alex Ferguson and the success
I wish
that he
him.
had?
I wish him good, and because I wish him good, of course I'm not happy with the situation. But I think he's not in trouble. I think he's not under pressure. I think he's just living a moment of some frustration because the results are not the results he would love to have in this moment. But I think the club is a giant not just in the dimension, also in the profile. I think they support him. I think he's not under pressure of lose one match and lose the job. I think he's stable, probably much more stable than many of us in the Premier League. Nobody touched David. He will succeed. He will succeed. He will win titles.
In your eyes, are the champions still title contenders?
Yes, yes.
Despite the point gap?
Despite the point gap. I know it's 11 for Arsenal and 10 for City and 9 for us. It's not just the distance to one team, it's a distance to 2, 3, 4 teams. It's big, but Man United is Man United. And more important than that, if they are or not a title contender, more important than that is, are they big contenders to win the game on Sunday? For me, they are probably one of the most dangerous matches we have, exactly because they have the potential, they have the players, they have the manager, they have the tradition, they have the culture, they have everything. And people, because they have 9 points less than us, and people says that they have no chance. They have chance. Of course they have.
You're very happy at Chelsea, clearly. Can I ask you, did you at any stage come close to that job at Old Trafford?
No.
Never?
No.
Didn't talk about it? Wasn't an option?
No.
Wasn't something you would have thought about?
No.
Because of Chelsea?
Because of Chelsea.
What is it that drives you on? Is it winning? Is it still winning? Is it winning again? Is it achievement? Is it getting the best out of the players that you work with and train with every day? Why do you want to continue to be successful?
You know, because the past belongs to the museums, and as a manager I'm very, 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 very young. So I have a lot to do, I have a lot to enjoy. My life is this. My life is my family and my football. I am in the top of football. I think I'm going to be in the top of football for many more years. If I was dropping and the big clubs and the big competitions were not for me anymore, I could say, okay, now I don't want more. But I don't see a reason for stop to doing something I enjoy. So what drives me is the pleasure of life, and the pleasure of life for me is my family, is my football.
We have this fascination with you in this country, which I know you're aware of, and when you came back there were a lot of people who were very excited just to have you back in the Premier League. Now, that brings a lot of attention on you and actually takes a bit of attention off your players. Is that something that you are aware of and cultivate?
I don't look for it, really. I think it's probably a consequence of my personality, probably a consequence of the way I approach things, the way I communicate with you media. But it's something that normally I can do it in some individual cases, but normally it's not a global strategy that I try to do that. What I want my players to understand from the beginning is that, first of all, I work for the club, not for them. The club is more important than them. The team is more important than them. And the moment they understand that, now yes, now it's time to build a relation with them individually. The ones that understand immediately that the team and the club are more important than them, they become the ones.
Because there are situations, aren't there, even this season? I mean, there were lots of questions about one individual player, Juan Mata, about why he wasn't playing, about where he was playing, about what you wanted him to do. Do you see, from your perspective, your role as trying to fit him into a system, or how do you see that? Because that's something that does play out in the media and amongst the fans.
I always say this: there are fantastic players, but sometimes the fantastic players are more fantastic to a certain system, to a certain way of play, and less fantastic in a certain way of play, in a certain model of play. He's an unbelievable player, a fantastic boy. He's trying to adapt. He's doing his best to adapt. He had some fine periods with us, but he needs a little bit more to go in the direction this team wants to go. For a player like Juan to have the feeling of, I'm on the bench and I don't even play one single minute, it's hard. It's hard for every player. It's harder for a top player like him. But I like him very much. The club likes him very much. We believe that he has a big role to play with us.
You don't want him to go anywhere
That's why
else.
we don't want him to go.
Do you find it strange that you find your happy place, as you like, you are the happy one here in England, when you were in Italy and Spain, you had a fractious relationship with some fans and particularly elements of the media? Why are you so comfortable?
Italy was fantastic. Italy was fantastic. Inter was an amazing experience. But I decided to leave because it was a moment of my career and my life where I still want to have a different challenge, a different experience. So I wanted to go to Real. If during your career you don't go there and you have the chance to go, probably you finish your career and you say, why I didn't go to that giant, why? And I had a chance twice. And if I had a chance twice, in the second time I wanted to go. And I'm happy that I went, because I won La Liga, and I wanted to win La Liga too. But I didn't like very much the kind of competition I had in Spain. My competition in Spain was Real Madrid against Barcelona, nothing else.
Two teams.
Two teams. We were champions with 100 points. We lost the title with 92 points. It's crazy. I enjoy very much the experience with such a giant club, and so happy that I can say I won there La Liga and the Cup and the Super Cup, but this is my football country and this is my club, Chelsea.
So you're at a club that you love. How long can you and how long do you want to stay at Chelsea?
I don't want to leave. I don't want to think about the next move, because I have no ambitions of a next move. I don't want a new contract. I don't need a new contract. I don't want more money. I get enough. Enough, and the club knows, because I told the club, I stay until you want. No club moves me from Chelsea. No project. No financial offer. Nothing.
Big thank you.